Okay, we are going to find an equation of a line, and we want to do this in slope-intercept form. And we want the line to pass -2, 7 and -6, 37. So let's get to work. Notice that we have 2 points, so we have to find out the slope first. And let me write it down right here for you guys. M for the slope, and the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so as you can see, y2 is 37, just have to put that down. And then minus y1 is 7, and then we divide it by x2, which is -6. And we are going to minus, and you see this minus is from the formula. For the x1, well, it's another negative, so we have a negative right here. Be sure you put down -2 with a parentheses like this, right? Now, we are going to work this out. This right here on the top, we get 30 over, on the bottom here though, notice this is -6 plus 2, right? So this is -6 plus, let me just write it down, -6 plus 2. So in fact, the bottom is actually going to be -4, like this. And 30 over -4, we can reduce that. We can do so by dividing by 2. And we get negative, and let me put a negative on the top. And we have 30 divided by 2, which is 15, over 4 divided by 2, which is 2, like this. And again, I just put a negative on the top because that's usually preferred, right? So that's the slope. Then we are going to use the point slope form of the line. So that's the form y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, like this. All right, let's see. The y stays the same, minus the y1 is 7, and the m is -15 over 2, times the parentheses, and this is x minus x1 is -2. So I'll just put that down right here, right? So this right here is the point slope form, but we want to end up with slope-intercept form. In that case, we continue. First, negative times negative is positive, so we will write down y minus 7 equals -15 over 2 times x plus 2. And then fix this parentheses, distribute, so we get y minus 7 equals, this times x is just -15 over 2x. And this times 2, the 2 will cancel, so we just get -15. And again, when we have -15 over 2 times the 2, 2 is the same as 2 over 1, so you see the 2 will cancel, so we just end up with -15. Lastly, to get the y by itself, we can just plus the 7 on both sides, so they cancel. And finally, we see that y is equal to -15 over 2x, and -15 plus 7 is -8. And with that, we are done. So that's it. Okay, we're going to write an equation of a line that's parallel to 3x plus 4y is equal to 9, and the line has to contain 8, -2. So here we go. First, remember, we always have to find out the slope. This time though, we want the line to be parallel to this line. So you have to remember that parallel lines, they have the same slope. So as long as we know the slope right here, we will know the slope that we have to use. And this right here, we don't know the slope right away, but we can put this into the y is equal to mx plus b form, and let's make that happen. So let me just write it down. 3x plus 4y equals 9. First, let's minus 3x on both sides. This and that will cancel, and we get, this is 4y. This is 4y equals, let's write down -3x first, and then we have the plus 9. Now we have the 4 times y, so we have to divide everybody by 4. Divide this by 4, divide this by 4, divide this by 4. So this and that cancel. Now we have y equals, I would recommend you guys to write it down like this. -3 over 4, and then put the x on the side, right? And then we add 9 over 4, like this. As we can see, after we have done this right here is the m, right? The slope of the line is -3 over 4. And we are going to look for the parallel line. So we are actually using the parallel slope. However, the parallel slope is the same as this. So the parallel slope is just negative 3 over 4. We don't have to do anything because they are just parallel, same slope. So that's the slope we are going to use. And now, of course, we are going to use the point slope form of the line. Namely, y minus y1 equals, and we want to find the parallel line. So this is the parallel slope, right? And then times x minus x1. We have the parallel slope right here already, but what's the x1, y1? This point that was given. So go ahead, x1, y1, plug in, right? So we have y minus y1, which is negative 2. And then this right here is equal to the parallel slope, which is negative 3 over 4. And we multiply by x minus x1, which is just 8, like this, right? And again, this is the notation for the parallel slope. It's not the M11, no. All right, so this is pretty much it, but we want to end up with the slope-intercept form. So go ahead and finish that. Negative times negative is positive, so y plus 2, that's equal to. Distribute this in, this times x is negative 3 over 4x. And this times negative 8, we know negative times negative will be positive. And let me just write this down. 3 over 4 times 8, which is the same as 8 over 1. And we can cross cancel. 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 8 two times. And 3 times 2 is 6 over 1 times 1, which is just 1. So 6 over 1, which is the same as 6. Doesn't matter. This times that is positive 6, like this. Finally, we do just minus 2 on both sides so that we get the y by itself, and that's equal to this, which is negative 3 over 4 x, and 6 minus 2 is positive 4. And with that, yes, we are done. Okay, here we're going to find an equation of a line in slope-intercept form, and we want the line to be perpendicular to this line, and we want the line to have this point as well. So now, remember that we are going to look for the perpendicular line. So this right here is the original. And do we know the slope of the original? Yes, we do. So let me write it down. Originally, we know y equals negative 5 over 2 plus 8. And you see, this right here is in the y equal to mx plus b form. So we know this right here is the slope of the original. That's very, very nice. However, don't forget to do the perpendicular slope. And to do so, this is the notation for the perpendicular slope. What we do is, we do the opposite sign. As we can see, originally here, we have negative. Now, for the perpendicular slope, it's going to be positive. And then we'll do the reciprocal. So we will have positive 2 over 5. And this is actually the one that we have to use, right? So let's see. That's the slope, and now this is the point, which is the x1, y1. And again, we'll use the point slope form, namely y minus y1, and that's equal to, well, I will put down m perpendicular because I want to emphasize we are doing the perpendicular line. M perpendicular times x minus x1. And now let's just throw in the numbers and work it out. So first we have y minus y1, which is 3. And that's equal to the perpendicular slope, which is that, namely 2 over 5. And then we have the x. And we have the minus. x1 is 4, so this is what we have. Okay, almost done. Of course, distribute this, and we get y minus 3, that's equal to, this times x is just 2 over 5x. And this times that is going to be, well, positive times negative, so that's negative. 2 over 5 times 4, that's going to be 8 over 5, because you can write this down, 2 over 5 times 4 is the same as 4 over 1. And in this case, we cannot reduce anything, so just multiply 2 and 4, which is 8, and then 5 and 1 is just 5, so that's how we get that. All right, now, you see, we just have to add the 3 on both sides, plus 3 here, plus 3 here, so that they cancel. And then we get the y by itself, and that's equal to, we have the 2 over 5x, And let me work this out on the side again. Negative 8 over 5. And we have to add the 3 to that. And the 3 is the same as 3 over 1. And we have to get the common denominator, which is to make this equal to 5 as well. Let's multiply this by 5 and this by 5. So we see here we get negative 8 over 5. And this is plus. We have 3 times 5, which is 15, over 1 times 5 is 5. And now they have the same denominator. We can just add the top together. Here is negative 8 plus 15. That's going to give us positive 7, and then the denominator stays the same. So finally, we see that this and that will give us 7 over 5. So just add 7 over 5. Yeah, just like this. Not so bad. And let me ask you, if you don't like to add fractions, if you don't like to multiply fractions, what can you do? Yes, use a calculator. So, yeah, hopefully it isn't too bad. But anyway, that's it.